to theStreamtv American Horror Story Hotel After Show. I'm Kristin Carole, and joining me is my good friend, Will.
Will Link, yes. I'm excited to be here filling in today. Thank you so much for letting me join you.
I'm so excited, you guys. He's done a lot of hosting shows. It's really great to have you on the show. We'll say hi to Xavier, who is who's down under now for the rest of the next 2 episodes. So we'll be having new hosts. So
thanks for letting me fill in for you, Xavier.
And thanks, you guys. This is my first time lead hosting, so get some cheerleading going on for that.
So you'll be great.
And join the conversation as well. We check Twitter. We love hearing from you guys with hashtag at AHSAS for the stream. Let's get into this. It was such a crazy episode.
This was a great episode.
We saw no John Lowe. We've had John Lowe overkill.
Yeah, last week, you know, it was good to take a break from the Ten Commandments stuff. You know, I thought this was good. I like a lot of Angela Bassett. That always is great.
She's so great. I feel like they introduced her and then they left her alone.
Yeah.
Same with a few other big plot points that we'd been waiting for, you guys, which finally happened this episode. So let's dive into, the Countess had so many scenes with different people. Yeah. But one of the big things we saw is she finally connected with Valentino again. What did you think about their reunion?
I thought it was great because that's really her most sympathetic storyline. Like, the first episode that I actually started to feel like, oh, maybe I feel some sympathy for the Countess was when we got the whole backstory with Valentino. And I also love its connection to, like, actual, like, old Hollywood, which kind of grounds the show in a semblance of reality, you know? And I thought that was the most emotional stuff. However, in this episode, I had no sympathy for the Countess. Like, it's funny, I had a little bit in the Valentino episode, and then this one I'm like, oh, that's right, she's terrible. She will kill everybody.
Well, and it's funny, because I feel like how you said, we kind of sympathize with her with the other one, and then in this episode, I was kind of hoping she'd get a little revenge. Not on Donovan and Ramona, because I love especially Ramona, but the fact that maybe she'll do something with March after she gets her way, I feel like it's going to bite him in the butt.
Yeah, I kept thinking that the wheels in her head were turning of, like, I'm going to have to get March somehow because now this wound of having Valentino back, it's fresh, and I want my revenge on him. But also, how do you get revenge on a ghost? I mean, it's tricky.
Yeah, exorcism. I'm not exactly sure.
I guess so. But I feel like there's also there's still some kind of symbiotic relationship between him and her and the hotel that maybe none of this can exist. They all need to be there for it to exist in a way.
Well, here's the thing: she can leave the hotel. He can't. But I mean, maybe they demolish it. Wouldn't that be kind of an not a prediction, but I think that would be an interesting ending. That's the only way she can get rid of it, right?
I think, but
start anew.
It's her home. Like, what other place can you, like, lock up people and basically murder everyone? There's no other place where you can basically get away with murdering everyone.
Just a hotel in downtown LA allows you to do that.
Yes. Never stay in downtown Los Angeles, people.
Exactly. And we saw another reunion of sorts as well. All of a sudden, we open on, there's more sex again. Donovan with the Countess. Yes. He's back. And he seems like he's happy with her, but what did you think initially? Did you buy that he was back in love with her, or do you think he was faking it with her?
I thought he was faking it with her, but I thought she knew he was faking it with her, and she was setting him up, which I guess she is kind of, because she doesn't really care. Yeah. She was setting him up, but I did think he was with her, and then I thought they did a good job of playing with that, though, because then when he's talking to his mom and stuff, when he's talking to Iris, and then he goes to Ramona, I thought, oh, maybe I was wrong. Then I started to buy into the fact, because he should know that she just chews people up and leaves them behind. So it tricked me. I was getting tricked along with Donovan, I think.
Yeah, and she was being tricky for all of it. And we'll really quickly touch back on, she goes back to the motel. Even after Donovan says, hey, I want to be exclusive. That was his exclusive conversation.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I knew you couldn't buy anything she was saying, because she knew Valentino was back, and there's no way she's going to be with him when she could be with Valentino. And there was the great little cut, and it kind of threw both of us, where she sees Valentino again, and then it cuts to she's having sex.
Yeah.
And
we're all. I thought it was Valentino, like a happy reunion.
Exactly, and then it was Donovan, and but we both kind of like, oh, so that was a good little filmmaking there, a good little trickery from them.
And, yeah, and it was really good too. I was sitting there like, okay, how did they get back together? Did he just walk in and they just went at it, kind of knowing what happened?
After all this,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if she wanted him back, I mean, she's got the power over him, and even at the end, like he's not dumb enough to know he's not being used, but I think he just doesn't care. He wants to be with her. He wants to be the one that she loves.
Yeah,
and it's a powerful hold.
And she only loves Rudy, and she's even trying to get rid of Natasha.
Yeah.
So we see all of that. And I want to talk about as well, Donovan, he leaves the Countess, and he comes upon Iris, his mother, Kathy Bates. I'm so glad she's back, you guys, because I miss when she's just a powerhouse on screen too. So she decides, her scene was so great because this group of 3 check into the hotel.
Yeah.
They're looking kind of shady, and then all of a sudden find out, okay, these people are going to shoot a porno in the hotel.
Stormcock, I believe was his name.
That was his name. She goes, is that like Madonna? Is it one name? Is that the first or last name as well? Which is really great. And she has an inner monologue about she used to let all this happen, and now that she's the new Kathy Bates, the new Iris, she has this power in her. She's not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
Porn is a terrible thing for women and for men to think that sex is that way on both accounts.
Yeah.
And she's tired of these people, and let's face it, she's probably a little hungry.
She's hungry, she's prudish, she's gonna run the hotel the way she wants it run when she can.
What did you think about that scene and the fact that Donovan came in and they're kind of mother-son bonding over this experience?
I love how ever since she got the blood virus, I guess we call it, I love how they've become closer, how it's also caused this mother-son relationship that she always wanted. She wanted her son to be proud of her, and she even says, like, she's going to set an example for all mothers, and I love that.
She's going to get, like, Mother of the Year award. That's what she's looking for.
Now she's going to really have to look out for her son, because he's going to, he's screwing up this whole plan with the Countess.
Messing up everything. Yeah. What do you guys think as well? We want to hear from you with Donovan and Iris. Do you think Iris is kind of going to go rogue a little bit on Donovan? We want to hear from you. Again, join us on Twitter, #AHSAS. So speaking of Donovan and our favorite, Ramona, right now.
She's incredible.
He's offering her, he's bringing a peace offering, the porno guy. He didn't kill him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to bring you, it's like a bottle of wine.
Yeah, you show up at someone's house, you don't want to come without bearing gifts.
Yes, exactly. That's the right thing to do, you guys. Yeah. You have to bring something.
If anything, this show teaches us manners.
They have all really good manners. Probably because a lot of them grew up in an older time.
Yeah.
And then they just stopped. So he brings them over, they're chatting, and Ramona tells a little bit more of her backstory with why does she want to get back at the Countess, because Donovan brings up a good point. It's been 20 plus years since they broke up. Why now?
Yeah.
Why should I trust you?
And I thought that story was actually, because, I loved Ramona already because she was just badass and she had this kind of like 70s blaxploitation character thing going on.
Anybody who can put like a dagger in their afro just wins in life.
Exactly. And just the way she delivers everything with such passion, like what the hell are you, everything is so pitch perfect with her. But she was still kind of a caricature, and I think this is another thing that really did a good job of humanizing her character, where we see the whole story with her father, and it's really sad. And, I'm dealing with stuff with my grandparents right now, where they have things, and there's a thing that you can kind of connect in her, and you could see how she got so sidetracked. And the fact that it didn't fix, turning him didn't fix his brain.
What did you think? I was really surprised at that because in most vampire lore, when that kind of stuff happens, they stop aging, but everything usually gets better. And the fact that she says neurons are neurons and what was gone is gone, you can't fix that, that he just ended up having Alzheimer's permanently. That was really depressing.
I guess it just works at the state your brain is currently at. Like, I assume the Countess, the older she gets, won't get dementia because she's had this from the time her brain was working fine. But I guess there's no going back with that. I guess that's the one thing it doesn't heal.
Which is kind of interesting, because I feel if it was True Blood or, you know, kind of a different vampire thing, that would have been done. And I kind of like how Ryan Murphy plays with the fact that it is more of a virus and instead of being completely vampire, so that plays into it.
Which is a really
more too.
smart move, because at first when I saw the season, it's like, oh, it's vampires. I feel like we've been down the vampire road so many times, but they've done a really great spin on it with the whole virus idea and just these characters. They've done it in a smart way that I thought wouldn't be able to do anymore with vampires.
Yeah, and I like the fact too, we talked about, and I don't know if you guys noticed, if we want to know, were the two guys that robbed the dad at the beginning the same two guys that robbed him later? Because they were all bloody, we couldn't tell. We kind of looked at each other. It's like, they look very similar to the guys that robbed the house later. Did they just keep going back?
Every few
and
years,
then he eats them.
they go back to the same house just to keep robbing the place.
I'm kind of curious about that, so I want to hear what you guys think about it. If that was just us, because it was kind of hard to tell and it was so quick. But I thought that was really funny. So they decide, okay, they're going to be in on this together. And then they go back to the hotel. And he's like, I knocked her out. She's going to be easy to kill. But just so you know, I'm still in love with her. So I can't kill her. You can. But I'll be there to cheer you on. So they go back to the hotel. And I know I started laughing because who sleeps like Lady Gaga does in the bed and draped open.
I only kind of bought that because it's Lady Gaga playing this character. But at that moment, when you kind of drew attention to that, my head started thinking like, wait, when did he drug her exactly? Because the last time we've seen her since the last time we've seen them together. And at that moment, like right before, I mean, it's like seconds before it happened, I'm like, oh no, he's betraying Ramona. Like, it clicked in my head, like right when you mentioned how she was sleeping.
No, that was a bit of a surprise to me too. I didn't really expect that to happen, and that's where I was the same. And then, so they capture Ramona, and I felt the same disappointment that Iris did at that point. I felt like a mom looking at Donovan, like, oh, honey.
Well, she sees her son making a poor choice, a poor life choice, and it's, you know, it's sad. You know, you want what's best for your kids.
Yeah, and a countess, vampiress, queen of a hotel is probably not what she was looking for.
Better to team up with the vampire 70s movie star than the vampire countess from the 20s.
Exactly. I hope they do pair up a little bit. I feel like Iris is going to go back and help Ramona now that she's kind of out.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that in a minute. I want to get to the wedding, the quickie wedding. Was that almost an elopement to an extent, except they were in the hotel?
I guess maybe I missed something early on when they were planning it, but I guess they weren't having like people at the wedding. There's no.
Well, she didn't want it. Liz Taylor. Another thing we learned about like this virus is it is kind of like a vampire virus in the way that she said that the Countess can't take any pictures. That would cause a problem.
Oh, okay. Is that because
because she's dead, or I'm not exactly sure too.
Or maybe somebody who's been alive for this long, you don't want pictures floating around.
Yeah, so I was kind of interested. It was that a vampire thing? Yeah, is that something that somebody's gonna look back on and go, who was this woman that famous Will Drake is married to? Because the publicity for that would be huge. He's such a big star. We already saw what the runway show was.
You know what, let me tell you what. I think all weddings should be that fast. All weddings I attend, I want to be that fast. I've been to many long Catholic weddings with a full mass. This is better. This is much better.
If Liz Taylor's at the wedding, it makes it that much better.
That makes everything better.
It really
if she's
does.
around.
Dennis O'Hare, I'm glad he was back, even if it was just for 2 quick scenes.
Yeah.
He just adds so much to it.
The objection.
Yes.
I mean, that's the episode is called She Wants Revenge, and I wonder if the person who's eventually going to get revenge is Liz Taylor.
That would be good.
Yeah.
If the next episode is more about her getting revenge, because they did talk about that, and semi-spoiler, but that Tristan will be back in some form.
Okay.
The actor Finn Wittrock talked about it, that it's going to be crazy and something he's never done before.
It's so...
Doesn't give much away, actually.
It's so brilliant. There was the line that the Countess had about... I've been trying to replace you with like these pale comparisons to Valentino, and it's so great that they have Finn playing both these parts because it really just throws this her love in the recent love in the present, her love from the past. Like I don't know, I just thought it was a smart decision for Ryan Murphy to make to cast both as the same actor.
Well, and then it's funny, too, because there was that, I don't know if you saw the meme going around of all of the actors from this season next to each other, and like, there's a bit of a pattern going on here.
There's a type.
Yeah, somebody had asked Ryan Murphy in an interview, is this your type of guy? Is that why we have the same type of guy? And he said, no, there's a reason in the story. Come on, you guys.
A square-jawed, kind of.
So, against Miss Evers pleading with Will Drake, he gets married anyways. We see a quick scene with Miss Evers getting friend-zoned by James March, which I think was hilarious. And what did you think about that, was seeing their relationship, and then Miss Evers later on, he gets killed by Ramona, fast forward?
Well, you know what? First of all, that was a fun setup where she said, I'm going to watch and I'm going to be smiling because I know I get to clean the blood and everything. I loved seeing the little flashback with March and her because it's clear that she was in love with March back in the past, but it wasn't so clear that there was some idea that maybe he would be with her because his father told him to marry a homely woman. And so I thought that, because that's an extra hurt to her, like knowing, oh, maybe I'm the kind of woman he's supposed to be with.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, exactly. She gave her a chance in the past, and it added a new dimension to this character who's always just kind of been in the background of everything. So I like that. She's a ghost, but it humanized her.
And I really want to talk about the scene everybody has been tweeting us about and putting on the live chat as well, was we finally saw what happened to the little children from forever ago. Was that everything you wanted?
I am so glad that I'm filling in on the episode that deals with those kids because I have been waiting to get back to that because I loved that scene in the school. It was so creepy and upsetting in all the right ways. And seeing that these kids, that Alex has them, she tracks them all down, they're all in this house, they're eating pizza delivery boy. Like it makes perfect sense that this would be what the kids are doing, but I still have no idea how this, or if it even does, connect back to what's going on at the Cortez in any way.
I think it all depends, too, on how much they're all connected, having that same virus. And I think the biggest problem is we saw even the inner turmoil between this group of children is half of them, they're all getting measles still, and half of them are like, okay, well, that means we just have to kill more people and drink because that's how we cure it. And the other half doesn't want to do that anymore. The one girl, Madeline, said that they already made her kill her parents, and they said, we killed all of our parents, and that's why nobody's looking for us, which was another big question, was why is nobody looking for these children?
It's so sad, like the little kids, because they're still the minds of little kids, and some of them are on like kind of a little bit of a power trip, but at the end of the day, the one girl just wants her mom.
Yeah.
And it was a nice touch that they all have measles too, that's why they have to keep feeding because they'll keep getting sick. Vaccinate your kids, people. That's what we're saying.
That's it. I think that's what Ryan Murphy was completely saying the whole season.
This is the moral of the season.
Exactly. Well, we'll be right back, you guys. We're going to answer some more questions, but be sure to stay tuned. We're just going to take a quick break, and we'll see you in a minute.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Oh my God.
We had a crazy vampire threesome.
And you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like, how did you get here? No. Look at me. I'm dancing. You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes. He is quite something.
We're like, inseparable. She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it wasn't. Come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
I just slapped the crap out of Nick.
And he's just you know, you can't count anything out.
Oh.
It's been another awesome night at theStreamtv, guys.
Thank you for joining us, you guys. We love you.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us at the American Horror Story Hotel After Show. And we're gonna go right into the tweets. So thanks you guys for sending us tweets, and we've been looking for them to kind of discuss a little bit more everybody's burning questions. And again, you can tweet at us throughout the week, hashtag AHSAS. So Will, who's first step?
The first person we have here is Kelly KJ8. And Kelly says, could it be that the laundress wins in the end and gets her true love, Mr. March? All the enemies kill each other, and these two.
Ooh, I like that. A little, you know, that they would end up together. She's had such a terrible experience in her past with the kid, and now all of a sudden she was friend zoned, and then in the end, does she get the guy?
Well, no one has ever been more accepting of March's vice, which just happens to be murder, than her. She's his biggest cheerleader. Now, I don't think March will be too thrilled with this, but actually, that would be kind of a poetic and, dare I say, bizarrely sweet ending if at the end of this, it's just the two of them left in this hotel. A string of bodies have been left, and it's just her cleaning the sheets and him admiring the murder.
Do you think otherwise the only thing he had seemed to have a problem with her is that she was, quote, homely?
Yeah.
Maybe if she had, you know, got a makeover.
Yeah. Look,
is that what he's looking for? I'm not exactly. Is it supposed to be like in Greece where all of a sudden Sandy she
come
comes
in
out
like,
and that's a
"Tell me
terrible
about it,
lesson for
stud."
girls.
Yeah.
But
that'll be that Mayor Winningham has to have a big makeover at the. Well,
Miss
look,
Evers comes out and she looks more like the maid in season 1.
Look, I'm just gonna say this. Lady Gaga looks pretty phenomenal on this show.
Yeah.
I don't think she's getting a makeover that good. Let's just put it that way. All due respect.
Maybe she conjures up something.
Yeah, there you go.
Right,
She's in the
exactly.
afterlife. Anything could happen. I like that. I like that theory.
Or he sees the true beauty within.
Yes.
Or the true evil within that they share.
Yeah.
They share the evil.
They will honestly. They're perfect for each other
really
in every
are.
other way.
Yep.
Okay.
All right,
let's see.
next step. Who else is checking in?
Okay, this is Mixties. I don't know how to MXTTYS. I'm not sure how to say it.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, is there even a protagonist this season? Like, all these hoes are evil.
If we're going, okay, who's the least evil? Let's put it that way that we're following.
Ramona?
Ramona.
I mean, she wants...
Or Iris at this point.
Liz Taylor.
Liz Taylor.
Liz
Yeah,
Taylor's
Liz Taylor's the
and
protagonist.
that's who I want to get revenge. I want Liz to be the one to get revenge. I say Liz is not an evil hoe. I say...
No, she's not.
Yeah.
She had her one true love. Granted, it was through a little bit of cheating, but can you really cheat with a boy toy that she's just going to throw away
Yeah,
later?
like, she knew, and...
It wasn't legitimate.
Do you think that because there was a little bit of a debate in this episode real fast, do you think that it was that,
that Tristan
did have feelings for?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think especially now, I'm not sure Tristan has fully developed feelings for anything, but this is the first person that he really trusted. I think the fact that they were really vulnerable with each other. The moment together, even though it came out of nowhere, that they had flirtations that I don't remember seeing.
It was shockingly intimate, the first scene with
Very
them.
intimate, and it was something that we hadn't seen any of them do before. So I like that. Liz Taylor. Liz Taylor's the protagonist,
yes,
you guys.
Liz Taylor's going to be our hero.
All right, we'll go through these, power through them.
Okay, Muddy 2009. Shouldn't that model dude be a ghost right now? I believe we're discussing
Yeah,
Tristan
we were just
there.
as Tristan will be back at some point, and yeah, everybody in the Hotel Cortez, when they die, they're going to stay there. There's no use in killing people you don't want to see again in that hotel.
He will be back.
Yes.
He will be back, clearly excited to see what
Yes.
role he serves. All right, and the last one, I believe, and I like this one a lot, from Shylea83. What is the Countess of? That's a good question, and I remember
I
thinking
feel like she's
that.
just the Countess of life.
She's the Countess of the Cortez. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what she is, but I guess she just gave herself this name.
And I like how even Will Drake buys into it, too. Because
Yeah.
he's the new guy, and he just calls his wife the Countess. He
Yeah,
doesn't even
that's-
give it a name.
That's what I love. He buys this hotel. Oh, the Countess lives here. Oh, I'll just marry the
Gonna
Countess.
get married
I'm just,
to the Countess.
Yeah. Well, that
Reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, where she just goes, Beast.
how'd that
there's
work
no
out
name.
for you, Will Drake? How'd that work out for you marrying that Countess?
You gotta know names of the women you're gonna
Yeah.
marry. Come on
Do
now.
a Google search. Get the full name, do a Google search.
All right, well, thank you so much, Will, for joining me. So happy to have you and
Thank
see
you
you
so
again.
much for having me on the show. I've been wanting to be on something with you for a while.
No, it's been great. And you guys, go ahead and subscribe now to theStream.tv here, and definitely tweet us throughout the week. We want to hear all of your thoughts. Hashtag AHSAS. Once again, I'm Kristin Carole,
I'm Will Link.
and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.